A very pleasant good evening, everyone. The following is a live exclusive presentation of the RVA Sports Network. After all the weather issues we have experienced over the last 9.5 to 10 months, it seems fitting that we would have last-minute changes to our first high school spring sports game of the week on the RVA Sports Network in 2019. First, we were supposed to play at 4:30, then it got backed up to 5 o'clock, and then earlier today, due to wet grounds at Midlothian High School, this Region 4B battle between Midlothian and Patrick Henry was moved north, and we greet you live on the campus of Patrick Henry High School just west of Ashland, Virginia, as we get set for the Trojans and Patriots in the season opener for both teams. Very pleasant good evening, everyone. Rob Witham along with you. Happy to be with you here tonight on our YouTube channel. We have links to listen live at both RVASportsNetwork.com and HanoverCountySports.net. Links also out across our Twitter network for Midlothian fans at Chesterfield Sports, for Patrick Henry faithful at Hanover Sports, and of course at our main Twitter feed at the RVA Sportsnet. So we put a bow of sorts on basketball this past week with state championships at the high school level with the end of the run of Randolph-Macon in the NCAA tournament. We'll obviously have our eyes on what happens with VCU's men up in Brooklyn this week. Richmond gets started on Wednesday afternoon. Virginia Union in the Division II women's tournament. Virginia State in the men's Division II tournament that gets underway this week. And a change at the top of Richmond women's basketball. And it looks like VCU's women, unfortunately, fallen just short of the Atlantic 10 championship in Pittsburgh back on Sunday. We'll be heading to the WNIT. So a lot of college basketball at the Division I and II level still yet to be played. But our attention, of course, turns outdoors as high school spring sports season officially got underway yesterday. There were several games that were supposed to be played yesterday that did not get played due to wet grounds, not weather. Yesterday was cloudy, temperatures in the 60s. We were at Randolph-Macon for their doubleheader against Rhode Island College. So certainly the weather was not the problem. It was past weather that drew issues. And again, the reason why we have moved our venue this afternoon. I woke up this morning thinking we'd be in Midlothian, but instead, here we are, just west of Ashland on Route 54, getting set for Patrick Henry and second-year head coach Lance Lesturgeon, getting set to host now the Trojans of Midlothian, a team that has been on the rise in Class 4 over the past couple of seasons after having some rough seasons earlier in the decade. And it'll be their final season in Class 4 because with the latest round of enrollment reclassification, which happens every 2 to 4 years in the Virginia High School League, next year, Midlothian will come up to Class 5, where they will join the likes of Atlee and Glen Allen, Prince George, the defending Class 5 state champions. Whereas, in case you didn't know, this is Lee Davis's final season in Class 5. They move down to Class 4 next year. And so in the 2020 softball season, Coach Jackie Davis and the Confederates, when it comes to playoff time, they won't be dealing with Atlee and Glen Allen and Deep Run and Prince George anymore. They're going to be looking at county rivals Patrick Henry and Hanover. They'll be looking at Dinwiddie, who's going to be good again this year. They'll be looking at Powhatan, who had a fantastic season in 2018. We are a little bit after the top of the hour getting started. Midlothian is getting their infield practice in. It took them a little extra time to make the trip up 288 up here to Ashland. The bus didn't arrive until, I'd say, about 5:30, 5:35. JV baseball team also came up, and JV baseball between the Patriots and Trojans getting set to get started behind us here. The varsity game did not move, and they have been playing now for an hour over at Midlothian. No score, top of the fourth in the opener for Coach Sammy Hart's Patriots. And for a Trojans team that has several recruits at the college level, and they are looking for big things here in the 2019 season. This is not the only big game going on this evening, as other teams are getting their 2019 seasons underway. Both Prince George baseball and softball, both coming off state championships last June. Today is their first day of official action since winning it all. The softball team at Glen Allen High School, the baseball team at Deep Run, back on the second Saturday of June last year. They are facing off at home against Henrico. The Atlee softball team will get their season started tomorrow afternoon. 5 o'clock start against Thomasdale and Chester, and then they hit the road again on Friday. Of course, Friday right now is all a big question mark, weather permitting. Scheduled to be in Prince George at 5 to take on the Royals. Douglas Freeman and Lee Davis have already moved their baseball and softball games up, scheduled to be Friday night. They've been moved up 24 hours to Thursday night to try to beat what's expected to be a wet Friday here across the RVA. So Lee Davis underway at this hour. Baseball and softball are both at Hermitage, as is boys lacrosse. All of them starting their season this evening on Hungry Springs Road. And then on Thursday night, it'll be Douglas Freeman heading to Mechanicsville for both baseball and softball. And that baseball game should be very interesting because Freeman and Lee Davis, obviously two teams with high hopes in a incredibly crowded Region 5B. When you add in defending Class 5 state champion Prince George, Deep Run is looking good this year. Mills Godwin is going to have a good team. Glen Allen is young. If they can find some pitching, they're going to be an issue this year. Matoaka always seems to come up and be strong. So Region 5B, we talked so much about only 8 of their teams getting in basketball here in the last 30 days or so. We're going to have the same issue, I suspect, at least on the baseball side, and maybe to a lesser extent on the softball side. Once we get into the middle of the month of May, we may see a couple of good teams not make the postseason because in 5B, only the top 8 out of 15 will advance. We have here tonight on the Game of the Week 2 Region 4B teams. They go into the season knowing they're going to be in the postseason because all 13 teams make the playoffs in sports in Region 4B. So you can be winless on the season and still make a postseason appearance. And it's interesting, that can change, obviously, the way coaches handle regular season play. Then you're looking at trying to collect as many wins as possible, get as high of a seed as possible. This year, Region 4B has kind of split things up. They did it last year as well, to where the northern quadrant of teams such as Chancellor and Cortland and Eastern View and Louisa and Caroline, they are all in a situation to where last year they got the number 1 and number 3 seeds in sports, whether they had a better or higher power rating than the teams down to the south. Now, this year, it's the other way around, and the South teams are 1 and 3, while the Northern teams will be 2 and 4. So it's possible that a team such as Patrick Henry, for example, or Midlothian, or Hanover, or Powhatan, or Dinwiddie, could have a lower power rating than, say, a team up north, but end up with the top seed in the tournament just because of the way that they bracket it that way and try to even things out. So in 4B, you go into the regular season knowing, okay, we don't have to worry about trying to finish in the top 8. We don't have to try to do all the formulas throughout the season to see, how many more wins do we need? Do we need another team to lose for us to sneak in? Are we one of the top 4 seeds? Will we get to host a first-round game? Some of those questions in 4B are irrelevant because you're in. Seeding, yeah, you're thinking about that, and obviously you want to win as many games as you possibly can, especially when you're playing 4B teams head-to-head for 2 reasons. 1, better chance, if possible, to get a higher seed, but more importantly, you get a chance to see some people that you may see again come 3rd, 4th week of May when you're trying to get out of Region 4B and make it into the Class 4 state tournament. Class 5 and Class 6 state tournaments again this year at Deep Run and Glen Allen, June 7th and 8th. And for these guys, their road to the state championship means a trip down to Lynchburg, as Class 4 will be playing in Lynchburg come June 7 and 8 for semis and championships. And don't forget, the state quarterfinal round got reinstated last year. So you got to win 3 after the regionals to win the championship, not just 2, which was the case for a 4-year period back in the old conference days. Hopefully we have vamped long enough. And Midlothian is just coming off the field. We're getting set for the lineups to be introduced, and we'll get set to start. Game of the week number 1 for this spring season. You can get a broadcast schedule, of course, always on the right-hand side of the page at both RVASportsNetwork.com and HanoverCountySports.net. Next game of the week is a week from tonight, a week from right now, as a matter of fact. We'll be at Lee Davis for the rematch of last year's Class 5 state semifinal. Both teams lost a lot to graduation, but both teams with sky-high hopes in 2019. It'll be Prince George at Lee Davis a week from tonight, 6 o'clock Eastern, on the RVA Sports Network High School Softball Game of the Week. Yes, we will have baseball and much more as these spring weeks progress. Looking forward to bringing you coverage from the Deep Run Baseball Spring Break Classic. First week in April. We're finalizing our coverage plans for that. Looks like we'll have a game on that Monday, the 1st in the first round, and we certainly are going to do our best to bring you the championship game on that Wednesday night, April 3rd, so long as weather doesn't play a role during that 3-day period. Coaches and captains are meeting at home plate, and we'll be underway here in just a couple of minutes. For those of you who tuned in at 4:30, those of you who are subscribers of our YouTube channel and were looking for our email alert at 4:30, and 4:30 left, and 4:30 became 4:45 and 5 o'clock, and you were wondering, we had put a message up on the chat room board there on our YouTube channel for tonight's broadcast, letting you know that things had gotten changed at the last minute this afternoon. I literally was sitting having a bite of lunch when I looked down on my phone and found out that I was not going to Midlothian. I was headed to Patrick Henry this evening for tonight's contest, and this is not the only game that has had to be moved both yesterday and today because of wet ground conditions. In fact, James River and Cosby were supposed to start their seasons against each other in baseball and softball this afternoon, and both those games simply were postponed because neither team, neither field, neither location was suitable enough to play just yet. Monacan and Manchester had to push back a boys' soccer game 24 hours. They moved their baseball game from Monacan to Manchester, and they are playing this afternoon. And there were some other changes as well. As spring sports season began, we reinstituted what we like to call the lineup, which is an opportunity for you to see the complete schedule of events at the high school level in the RVA every morning at our main network website, RVASportsNetwork.com. So just make that something you do in your morning routine. Bring up RVASportsNetwork.com. If it's on your mobile, you'll see it as the first listing. It'll say the lineup and the day of the week, which tomorrow, of course, will be Wednesday. You click on it, and you can check out where your favorite teams are playing. And then, of course, if there are changes due to weather or conditions or field conditions or other issues, we keep you posted and updated at the website throughout the day. That's the lineup at RVASportsNetwork.com. Getting final instructions here. Officials talking about something here down the left field line. Just make sure everybody knows the rules and everything is copacetic, especially for the visiting team, Midlothian. Now, one question we haven't had answered yet is that what will Midlothian be considered still the home team, because this was originally a home game for Midlothian. Just because it got moved here doesn't necessarily mean that Patrick Henry will get to bat last. A lot of times when these situations happen, they treat it as if the original host is still the host. So we'll find out here in a moment whenever somebody takes the field who's going to be the home team. I have a feeling Midlothian is going to still be the home team. I see ladies with gloves in their hand down the third base line waiting for this meeting to wrap up, whereas I don't see anybody on the Patriots side, on the first base side, with their gloves ready to take the field. I'm not sure if it's because it's the first game of the season, but it's an unusually long meeting at home plate here with the umpires. And so we appreciate your patience, fans, as we achingly wait to begin the first game of the week spring sports broadcast of 2019. This does give me a moment, though, to again give a huge shout out and a big thank you to our friends at Titan Auto and Tire for their exclusive sponsorship of last week's Class 6 Girls State Basketball Championship here on the RVA Sports Network. It didn't work out the way the Cosby Titans hoped. They fell short in their quest for their 5th state title in 6 seasons, but they go out as state runners-up. 4 championships in 6 years, 5 state tournament appearances in the 13-year career of legendary head coach Rachel Mead, who retires from both field hockey and basketball and is now going to watch one daughter take over the Cosby field hockey program and watch another one play in college beginning in the fall. And if there's any good reason to give up after such an incredible career over 30 years at several Chesterfield schools, to give that gig up, it is to watch your offspring compete themselves, and you could be a mom out in the stands, and you can cheer for your daughter. So congratulations to Coach Mead. Looking forward, I'm sure she is, to that new part of the experience. I also think it's going to be really weird for her come early August when field hockey practice begins, that she's not getting up at 5 in the morning and becoming the first person to arrive on the Cosby campus and the first person to unlock the field. And she's going to leave that to her older daughter and let her take care of that. And she might even sleep in a little bit. She certainly has deserved it. I'll never forget, after they won their first state title in 2014, at the press conference afterwards, Coach Mead, we talked to her briefly, and she was talking about how she really didn't have a whole lot of time to celebrate that state title that night because she had to get up and be at driver's ed teaching kids how to drive at 9 o'clock the next morning. It was a Friday night in that championship. And sure enough, the next morning, she was at Cosby High School teaching kids how to drive. That's all part of being a high school coach. So, Coach Mead, congratulations. A salute to you and to our friends at Titan Auto and Tire. Thank you so much for your sponsorship of our Class 6 state championship coverage last week. You need to go to TitanAutoTire.com to start your next search, not just for tires for your car, but so much more. They are the luxury car leader in Chesterfield County. They are the hybrid and electric car repair leader in Chesterfield. If you've been thinking about getting an electric car or a hybrid car, but you were scared because you knew that your mechanic couldn't handle it, you didn't know who could, Titan Auto and Tire can take care of it. No problem whatsoever. And if it's a dash light all the way to your engine, their techs are going to take care of you and take care of business. And you can check out on their website about their Uber program, which makes it easier than ever to drop your car off and get it taken care of, and then get back, thanks to Uber, and get your car and head on home or to your next destination. That's TitanAutoTire.com. 2 locations, one in Mosley, western half of Chesterfield County, and the southern location on Jeff Davis Highway. And again, a big thanks to everybody at Titan Auto and Tire for their sponsorship of last week's championship game. Midlothian is the home team tonight. They have taken the field. And so it will be the Patriots of Patrick Henry batting first, and officially the visitors on their home field here tonight. And their starting lineup is being announced as we'll get set in a moment for first pitch in the 2019 season. I can tell you in JV baseball behind us, Midlothian's already struck for 3 runs here in the top of the first inning. And with 2 out, have the early 3-0 lead with a couple of batters in scoring position. So a good start for Midlothian JV baseball. While we have a second, let's check the scoreboard. Midlothian in varsity baseball, first to score this afternoon. They strike for 2 in the bottom of the 4th, and it's Midlothian 2 and Patrick Henry nothing in the bottom of the 4th. All right, I believe we are set and ready to go. I promised myself that we would not complain about the sun being in our eyes simply because the sun is out today. And we are very appreciative of that. It's Abby White in the circle, her customary position. Part of the rise of Midlothian softball here in the last few years has been because of the presence of Abby in the circle. She'll head to UNC Pembroke next year. This is her senior campaign for the Trojans of Midlothian. I remember being over at a game 2 years ago against then defending state champions Atlee, and they gave the Raiders that afternoon all they could handle and more before the Raiders scratched a couple of runs really late and escaped Midlothian with a victory. And on that day, I left and thought to myself, Midlothian is going to be a team to watch for quite some time. They were very young then. They are mature now, and they want to make their statement heard in Region 4B in Class 4 this season. So it's Abby White in the circle, and it's Autumn Sleemaker, the shortstop, right-handed hitter, set and ready. First pitch of the 2019 season is on the way. Swing and a miss for strike one. White ahead in the count 0-1. Sleemaker on her way to Radford University. It'll be Sleemaker, Radcliffe, Rhodes. First three due up for the Patriots. Top one. Yes, we are in Ashland, but the game moved due to wet ground problems at Midlothian. So the Trojans are the home team in this Region 4B matchup. The 0-1. That's outside, and we're even at one ball and one strike. Autumn kind of stepped into her own, especially sophomore year 2 years ago, and became a household name in the high school softball community. So we get a quick time called. Sleemaker going to back out and reset. 1-1 the count. Just underway. First batter of the evening. And again, though we are in Ashland, Midlothian, the original hosts, are the home team officially on the board. Next pitch, White in the dirt, low, 2-1. Now to Autumn. With Saxon Radcliffe on deck. The 2-1 pitch. Line down the right field line, hooking, foul. And the count will be even at 2-2. We'll set the defensive lineup for Midlothian for you in a moment. Sleemaker into the box. She's ready. White toes the rubber. And the 2-2 pitch on the way. Off speed, able to foul it out of play behind the Patrick Henry dugout, and will remain at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cameron Long behind the plate, as she has been for quite some time for these Trojans. Cassie Grizzard is at first base tonight. Lexi Wright is at second. Elle Herndon plays third. Next pitch, fly ball, center field, going back to the wall. It's gone. Home run, Autumn Sleemaker to dead center. A solo shot puts the Patriots on the board first at 1-0. It looked like it was well hit off the bat, and then you look up and you saw the center fielder take about 2 steps back and then just stop and slump the shoulders. And when you saw the shoulder slump, you knew it was gone. So Autumn with her first homer of 2019 and her first at-bat, and the Patriots are up 1-0 as the first baseman, Saxon Radcliffe, comes to the plate. Finishing up the defensive lineup this afternoon for Midlothian, Amanda Lanyon is at short today. Maggie McDermott is in right field. Emily Morrison was the one who had to turn and watch it go over the fence in center. First pitch coming to Radcliffe, outside for ball 1. Lauren Lingle is in right field. McDermott is in left tonight. For the Trojans of Midlothian, 1-0, just underway. Nobody on, nobody out. The solo shot from Sleemaker to get things started tonight for the Patriots. The 1-0 pitch, outside. That one got away from Abby big time, and the count's 2-0. With Blair Rhodes starting her second season here at Patrick Henry after moving from Douglas Freeman. She's on deck. And defensively tonight, she'll be at second. Radcliffe's your first baseman tonight. White takes her time. Now she's ready. Here comes the 2-0. That one on the inside corner for strike one. That was a pretty pitch. I think Saxon was looking for some movement and it never did. It was a laser right across that inside corner. And that makes it 2-1. Temperatures quite comfortable, though chilly. Sun's making it feel real warm right now. 2-1 pitch, grounder towards short. Gobbled up there, quick throw to first. And Radcliffe retired by Lanyon, the shortstop. One out here in the top of the first inning. That'll bring up Blair Rhodes.
Now batting for the Midlothian Patriots, number 4, Blair Rhodes.
Rhodes, the right-handed hitter, steps in. One out, nobody on. Solo homer from Sleemaker is the difference so far. Little change up there. In for strike one. Count 0-1 on Rhodes. Second baseman tonight for Coach Lance Lesturgeon, beginning his second season at the helm here as Patriots head coach. White's ready, and the 0-1. That's foul. Rhodes a little late on the swing, and it's now quickly 0-2 on Blair Rhodes with one out, nobody on, and a run in. Rhodes into the batter's box. Likes to get close to that plate. White is ready. And the 0-2 coming. Swing and a miss, and Blair goes down. First strikeout of the evening for White. 2 down. Here in the top of the first, and that'll bring up the center fielder, Aaron White.
Now batting number 25, Aaron White.
When we had Coach Lesturgeon on in the red zone on 102.9 The Mater a few Monday nights ago, as practice got underway on President's Day, he spoke glowingly of his cleanup hitter tonight and was expecting big things out of White this season. First pitch is high and away from Abby White to Aaron White, and the count is 1-0. We're very blessed to be able to get all the Hanover County softball coaches on our live weekly talk show over at Sports Page Grill Ashland. We're there every Monday night from 6 to 7 live on 102.9 The Mater. The 1-0 fouled back and will be 1-1 on White. We are diligently endeavoring to get all of our In the Red Zone broadcasts up on our podcast site. So if you miss one, you can listen anytime on demand. Next pitch coming. Grounder again towards short. Lanyon had it, lost it, not going to be able to get there in time. And White is safe on the air at short. So 2 down and a runner on for the third baseman, Emma Keys.
Now batting number 13, Emma Keys.
So you can hear past editions of In the Red Zone at rvasportsnetwork.podbean.com. That is our podcast home. In the Red Zone, essentially replacing the former Central Region Now podcast. Now we're live on the radio each week as Keys takes one low for ball one, count 1-0 with 2 down and runner at first. Patriots up 1-0. When we're live at Sports Page on Monday night at 6, you can listen both on the radio, 102.9 FM, 1430 AM. You can also listen on the TuneIn radio app on Radial. That next pitch misses low, and the count 2-0 on Keys. Radial is spelled Radiall. That is the 24-hour music channel of 102.9 The Mater. Or as I like to say, it's Mater music in a slightly different order. So when you're outside of the Richmond area, you can listen to Mater music anywhere in the world. Next pitch pulls the string, misses high, and it's 3-0 on Emma Keys with 2 down and Aaron White at first. Pitcher Madeline Jewick is on deck. Should the inning continue. 1-0 Patrick Henry. The pitch. That's down the pike. And the count's 3-1. Lee Davis Hermitage underway, both baseball and softball, top of the hour. Douglas Freeman is at Atlee in baseball. Their season's getting underway tonight. 3-1 pitch, low for ball 4, and Keys will head to first, and White will trot to second, and it'll bring up the pitcher.
Now batting number 20, Madeline Jewick.
2 down. First time I watched Madeline Jewick play, it was for Rockville Little League softball. And I knew, back a few years ago that there would become a time where you would start to see those kids that we watch in Little League action throughout the late spring and summer show up here at the high school level. And here's one now. Jewick's ready. First pitch from White. Misses low for ball 1. Jewick is a right-handed hitter and gets the ball to start tonight in the circle for Patrick Henry. White is ready into the pitch, and it's fouled back to the screen. And that first pitch was originally called a strike. Looked like that the ump had called it a ball. And so Jewick is down 0-2 with runners at first and second and 2 out, and the Patriots up 1-0. Big early pitch here for Abby White. Toes the rubber. And here it comes. That's low. Gets blocked by Long, but the runners are able to advance 60 feet. White to third. Keys will get to second. And now 2 in scoring position with 2 out for Jewick. So an opportunity to help herself here and be able to make her 2019 pitching debut with maybe a 3-0 lead rather than 1-0. The pitch. This is outside, trying to get her to chase, and White couldn't get it to happen. It's 2-2. Randolph-Macon baseball moved up to 5 in the latest D3Baseball.com top 25 earlier today, and then got beat today in Rocky Mount, North Carolina by North Carolina Wesleyan. 7-2 the final score. Very surprising final from down south today. Here comes the 2-2. Grounder towards second, can't get to it, into center field. Here comes 1. Here comes 2. It's a 2 RBI single for Jewick, and the Patriots are up 3-0. She made contact, found the hole. Second baseman was kind of cheating towards the first base side defensively, and that one was to the right of second base, but enough to where the diving attempt was not enough by Lexi Wright. And the Trojans will have a conference in the circle. Bases are clear, but the Patriots have 3 on the board here in the top of the first. Jakyla Thomas, the left fielder, coming to the plate now. See if she can keep this first inning alive. 2 out, nobody on, but 3 in with the Sleemaker solo homer to begin the evening's festivities. And tonight's starting pitcher Jewick just with that 2 RBI single to bring in White and Keys to make it 3-0 Patrick Henry. First pitch, grounded, foul, down the first base line. 0-1. Jamie McElroy, tonight's catcher, is on deck should the inning continue. It's always that position catchers hate. They're on deck and they may have to make a quick costume change or maybe not. The third baseman never has to worry about that. 0-1 the count. White's ready. Thomas is ready. The pitch. Foul. Back out of play. And quickly Thomas down 0-2. So 1 error kept the inning going. Gave Jewick the opportunity to come up and get that single and the 2 RBIs. 3 hits in the inning. including the solo homer to lead things off by Sleemaker. Waiting to retrieve a few softballs that had fouled out of play. That has been completed. And Thomas will get back into the box, and we'll get set for the 0-2 from White. Here it comes. Pull the string, missed. Low and away, ball one. Don't forget, next game of the week, a week from tonight, rematch of last year's Class 5 state semifinal. Prince George comes to Lee Davis. It will be live next Tuesday night in Mechanicsville beginning at 6 Eastern. That one's high and away. Counts even at 2-2 to Thomas. In April, we'll have Cosby and Atlee against each other, and we'll be we'll be planning and scheduling more broadcasts, and of course, we keep the broadcast schedule up and running at both of our websites. 2-2 pitch in the dirt, blocked nicely by Long. Heading to second is the pinch runner for Jewett, and is in safely. That's Lauren Ely, number 17. So she'll be at second base, and the count will be full at 3 balls and 2 strikes to Thomas. Three and two out. White's ready, and the delivery is low for ball 4. And Thomas will earn the walk after being down 0-2. And another little jam here for Abby White and the Trojans. Already down 3-0, top 1. And McElroy, the catcher, coming up.
Now batting number 24, Jamie McElroy.
So 2 away here in the top of the first. To finish the thought we had a moment ago, Game of the Week broadcast schedule available both at rvasportsnetwork.com and hanovercountysports.net. First pitch. Low for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Haley Street, the right fielder, on deck and is the number 9 hitter in this evening's order. 1-0 coming. That's in there for strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike to McElroy. White is ready. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Tap foul back to the screen, and it's 1-2 now with 2 down and 2 on, and the Patriots already with 3 in here early tonight. Patrick Henry's got a big week, which is scheduled to conclude here on Friday night against Emerson Aiken and Glen Allen, who could be a force to be reckoned with in Class 5. This could be the year that Glen Allen finally breaks through. Next pitch, tapper back to the pitcher. White has it. The throw to first, and the side finally retired, but not before the Patriots grab 3 in the top of inning number 1. Trojans will come to bat for the first time tonight. They are officially the home team, though we are in Ashland, Virginia. Game getting moved due to wet grounds over at Midlow. 3-0, middle of 1. Back in a moment here on the RBA Sports Network. Got a few score updates we'll pass along coming up in a few moments, fans, as we get set for Midlothian's first turn at bat in 2019, but they find themselves down early as Patrick Henry puts up 3 in the top of the first inning.
Starting off the lineup for the Midlothian Lady Trojans, you have number 7, Cassie Grizzard.
First baseman Cassie Grizzard, left-handed hitter, will lead things off for the Trojans against Madeline Jewick. She is in the circle tonight. First pitch hits the outside corner for strike 1. Of course, Riley Dahl, the big returning starter in 2019 for Patrick Henry after a solid freshman season. Jewick, though, gets the call here tonight on opening night. And Midlothian missing Abby Campbell tonight. Patriots also missing veteran outfielder Jamie Hughes. She is here, but in street clothes. 0-1 coming. Tapper at the plate. It's foul. And the count 0-2 on the first baseman, Cassie Grizzard. Shortstop Amanda Lanyon is on deck, and catcher Cameron Long scheduled to bat here in the bottom of the first for the Trojans of Midlothian. The 0-2 outside. And the count 1-2. Mentioned earlier in that top of the first when Jewick was at bat almost before the two-run single. And a chance to watch her in action back in the Rockville Little League days. In fact, last night, I'll tell you a story about it here in a moment. 2-hopper to short, handled by Sleemaker. Quick throw to first in time. That's a beautiful throw to get Grizzard by a half step, and 1 down, bottom of the first, for Midlothian. That'll bring up Lanyon. So last night I'm doing something that I'm sure almost all of you listening have done at some point in time, and that is trying to find room on an external hard drive. So, we're trying to delete things and compress things and get as many things on it as possible. First pitch from Jewick is fouled back, and the count 0-1 on Lanyon. And while we were doing that, we found some old pictures from 2013, 2014 of our summertime Little League coverage at Rockville and Atlee and other areas here in Hanover County, and looked at some of the names, and some of them I've already seen at the high school level, and some are coming up this very spring. At the knees, nice pitch from Jewick, makes it 0-2 now. Quickly on Lanyon with Long on deck. One of the reasons for the amazing success of softball as a whole at the high school level in Hanover County in this decade, the feeder systems these schools enjoy at the youth level. 0-2 toward third. Shortstopper Sleemaker calls her off at the last second, comes over and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Got to give Emma Keys credit for ducking out of the way at the last minute and letting Autumn take care of business. 2 down, nobody on. And the catcher, Cameron Long, up for Midlow. Sun's going to bug us for about another 20 minutes or so, and then it's going to get behind the trees, and it's going to be a lot easier to tell you the action. Swing and a miss from Long for strike 1. We've got our broadcast position all set up and ready to go, and we haven't sat there the entire night. We're standing here at the doorway so we can kind of block the sun that's in right field. Jewick toes the rubber. 0-1. Popped up, third baseman trying to get it in foul territory and can't quite do it. Keys with a fantastic try. But falling forward, the glove out in front of her, underhanded, kind of pops in and out of the glove as she falls to the turf. So it'll be a foul ball in the count 0-2 with 2 out. Midlothian baseball ended up with 5 in that bottom of the 4th. They had 2 at one point. They finished with 5 runs. They're bottom of 5 now at Midlothian, and the Trojans lead Patrick Henry in the baseball opener 5-0. 0-2 pitch, line to right field. Pretty well hit. Going back to make the catch, and is the right fielder Street. But that was near the fence. Long got a good piece of it, but not quite all of it. And the Trojans are down in order here in the bottom of the 1st inning. So 1 complete here tonight on our debut voyage on the Game of the Week for spring 2019 on the RVA Sports Network. The score is 3-0 Patrick Henry. Back in a moment on the RVA Sports Network. Two hitters are due up here as we get started. Top of the 2nd. Going to struggle with that all night. Watching the Patriots be the visitors. We'll have a count even at 1 ball and 1 strike on the right fielder, Haley Street, who just had the catch there near the wall in right field. Cameron Long, about 5 feet short of a home run to get the Trojans on the board in the bottom of the 1st inning. If you're just joining us, game got moved back to a 6 p.m. start and moved to Patrick Henry due to wet grounds at Midlothian. 1-1 pitch, line to third and swallowed up there. Holy cow, what a great catch. Sometimes better be lucky than good if you're in the position to make that catch, which Elle Herndon just did. If she steps 2 steps over to the left or right just before the ball is hit, she's not in position to make the catch. That was one of the things we talked to Lee Davis head coach Jackie Davis about in the red zone last week, was our amazement and just my continual awe of players who play third base in softball at any level, and how your timing and your ability have just got to be there. Sleemaker, first pitch to her is going to be lined into left center field, and it'll be a base hit. She'll be held up at first. It went into the gap, but the center fielder did a very good job to get over quickly and cut it off. And so Sleemaker now 2 for 2 tonight with a solo homer and now a sharp single into left center field as Saxon Radcliffe comes to the plate with 1 out and 1 on here in the top of the 2nd. And it's a 3-0 Trojans lead. Update on baseball, more runs for Midlothian in the 5th. They've broken it open. It's now 8-0 Midlow leads Patrick Henry in the opener in baseball for both teams. That first pitch fouled off by Radcliffe, and the count 0-1. Haven't seen anything yet from Lee Davis Hermitage. They are currently playing baseball, softball, and boys lacrosse all over at the Herm tonight. No balls, one strike on Radcliffe with a runner on first and one out. Next pitch. Down the third base line, but foul. And the count will be 0-2. And Sleemaker will retreat back to first. She was on her horses had that thing stayed fair. Coach Lesturgeon with a quick word for Radcliffe. He heads back to third base. She gets set to hit the batter's box, and White will deliver the 0-2 in a moment. Trying to keep this a 3-run game and see if the Trojans can start to get their offense up and running. The 0-2 now. Line foul, out of play, and Saxon still alive. At 0-2, Saxon was a guest on In the Red Zone back last fall. Had a great conversation with her. Of course, her older sister Grayson Radcliffe now at Indiana University, and they are having a phenomenal start to their 2019 softball season. No balls and 2 strikes. More on something about Grayson in a moment. First, though, the 0-2 to Saxon. High. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I forget who they're playing, but it's been Big Ten action. Grayson and Indiana will be playing a conference game on ESPNU on the 5th of April. That's the Friday of spring break week. So I already have it on my calendar to make sure I DVR so I don't miss it while I go perform a wedding that day. Next pitch, fly ball, center field. Coming in to make the catch. Center fielder makes it 2 down, and Radcliffe is retired. The catch by Emily Morrison. So Blair Rhodes, who struck out in her first plate appearance tonight, is up. Runner at first and 2 away. And White with the first pitch. Misses outside. Rhodes ahead 1-0.
Now batting number 4, Blair Rhodes.
Sleemaker at first. Street retired on the line shot to third. Radcliffe retired on the fly out to center. And now Rhodes with 2 down and 1 on. Again outside. Going to second. And in is Sleemaker. Head first slide. And she gets herself in scoring position here. Count will be 2-0 with 2 down. And Sleemaker now at second. So a hit means a run here for Blair Rhodes, the junior. White ready. The pitch. Foul. Back our way. And onto the baseball field. And so their first time out of the night due to softball invasion. And the count's 2-1 on Blair Rhodes. Patrick Henry 3, Midlothian nothing. Here in the top of inning number 2. White fires off speed, popped it up, foul ground. First baseman there to make the catch. And the side is retired. So no runs in the inning. They leave Sleemaker on second, middle of 2 here in Ashland. Patriots 3, and the Trojans nothing. Update from our good friend Doug Hines over at Deep Run tonight. Their opener in terms of baseball with Maggie Walker. First inning. Wildcats get 4 doubles in the first, and they take a 5-0 lead on the Dragons. They're in the second inning now. And it's possible that they went run rule final here, and that is the case. It is a final over in Midlothian as Midlothian scores 5 in the 4th and 5 in the 5th. And they take the run rule 10-0 win over Patrick Henry today. So the Trojans win their season opener, which their field was good enough to where they could stay home and play. The baseball JV game continues behind us. But final there, Midlothian 10. And the Patriots, Patrick Henry, nothing. Patriots are young this year. May take them a little bit of time to kind of get things going. And a little while ago, we were talking about Region 5B in baseball and talked about how Glen Allen had some young arms, and if they could catch up, they had the offense. Well, they're certainly proving it. That opener against J.R. Tucker tonight was supposed to be at Glen Allen. It was too wet there. They moved it down Parham Road to J.R. Tucker, and after two, the Jaguars lead 10-0. So 10 runs and 2 innings of early work for the Glen Allen baseball team on opening night against one of their biggest rivals on the road when they're the home team. We go bottom of 2, Midlothian the home team here, though we are live in Ashland. And the first pitch, a swing and a miss by Emily Morrison, the center fielder, and Jewett ahead of the count 0-1. So Midlothian baseball wins today 10-0. Deep run and Glen Allen up big early. And as we get other updates, we'll keep you posted throughout our broadcast tonight. Next pitch, comebacker behind Jewett. Shortstop Sleemaker hurries, grabs it, throws, and retires Morrison for the first out. Nice play by Sleemaker, and the best part about it was just how smooth and how calm it was. Ball didn't have a lot of speed on it. She had to make the charge, but it was very fluid. And got the runner with a step to spare. The pitcher White out now. First pitch in the dirt, and it'll be 1-0 to Abby. Abby will play collegiately at UNC Pembroke next year and beyond. Got to give a shout out to a player of the week here in a moment that we found out about this afternoon. Next pitch, comebacker to Jewett. Tosses to first. White is retired, and quickly 2 down for the Trojans here in the bottom of the second inning. Shout out to Heather Childress, Lee Davis graduate. She was named Conference Carolina's softball player of the week today. Of course, she's now at the University of Mount Olive. Division II school down in North Carolina, and she's a sophomore this season. So good job, Heather. Congratulations to her. With 2 out, nobody on, the second baseman, Lexi Wright. Check swing. She went it, and that's a strike 1. Couldn't hold up. Counts 0-1. Sun is just about ready to go behind the trees. And when that happens, it's going to get chilly fast, because it's been baking us nicely here for the last couple of hours. Next pitch. Looper, shortstop Sleemaker, just into the center field grass, will make the catch for the third out of the inning. So 3 up, 3 down, and 2 in the books tonight here on the Game of the Week. Our score, Patriots 3 and the Trojans 0. We're back in a moment on the RVA Sports Network. Top of the third, they're bringing out the blankets and the coats now in the stands as the sun is getting set to say goodnight. And Aaron White, the center fielder, leading things off. First pitch, ball one from Abby White, the Midlothian starter. Next pitch coming, lined into center field, and that is a base hit. Morrison will get over and cut it off, and White will be in with a leadoff single here in the top of inning number 3. It's a night of routes so far in baseball. Deep Run is up their lead on Maggie Walker to 10-0 after 3. Thank you, Doug Hines. We mentioned Glenn Allen up 10-0 over Tucker after 2. And Midlothian has defeated Patrick Henry 10-0 in 5 innings this afternoon. All season openers for all those teams. Today, Show and Bunt laying it down nicely. Catcher long to first in time. White's trying to get over to third, and she will make it safely. Aaron White all the way to third base, although Coach Lesturgeon said into her right now going, you might want to slide next time. She went standing up safely, and that was not the safest way to make it safely to third, but she is there. And a nice sacrifice by Keys. That'll bring up Jewett, who had the 2 RBI single in the first inning. And now a chance to pick up another RBI tonight. Getting the first start of the 2019 season in the circle for Patrick Henry. White at third, 1 out. First pitch, high for ball 1. For those of you who are not as well-versed in Hanover County softball history as some other listeners are, Patriot fans know that they are now still the only team in the county never to have won a state championship. That pitch is on the outside corner for strike 1 to Jewett, count even 1-1. Patriots got all the way to the Group AAA state championship in 2012 and still the best softball game at the high school level I've ever witnessed. That championship, Cosby 3, Patrick Henry 2 in 10 innings. What a battle that was. Swing and a miss, and Jewett down 1-2. You think about the players on that 2012 championship team. You had Mitchell in the circle. Her sister was only a freshman, Paige, and she was the starting shortstop. Sam Moore, Katie Woody, popped up towards second, running in to try to make the catch and misses it. It pops out of the glove of the second baseman right, and everybody's safe. White will stay at third. Jewett will line up at first. That ball, I think, caught right a little bit off guard. I think she thought it was coming to her. But as time went on, it just kind of spun in the air, and she had to keep going and going and going and made the dive and went into her glove and then out, much like what happened to Emma Keys trying to catch a foul ball earlier tonight. So with runners at the corners and 1 out, it'll bring up Thomas. So runners at the corners, Patriots with 1 out here, top 3, trying to extend the 3-0 lead. First pitch is outside for ball 1. They're going to try to throw to second, and the ball's going to go into center field, and a run will score. And now trying to get to third and not going to make it is the pinch runner for Jewett. She is called out. Now we have a umpires conference here near the circle, so we'll beg for time and see what's going on here with the score 4-0. We know White in. The throw from Long gets away from the second baseman into center field, and that allowed Aaron to come home easily. In fact, Aaron was on her way home as soon as Long released that ball, so even if it had been caught by the infielder, it wouldn't have mattered. White would have scored without a problem. A little surprised that they even tried to get the runner heading to second. You just kind of give that up and keep that runner at third and see if you can't get, a couple strikeouts or something to get out of the jam. So the Patriot faithful here, for those of you wondering, we have a timeout. They're arguing that there was interference involved in the base running efforts trying to get over to third base. And so, therefore, they should not call the play out, even though she was tagged out at third. Coach Lesturgeon pleading his case to the field umpire. Bottom line is, right now, 4-0 Patrick Henry. White is in. And either it's going to be a runner at third, or it's going to be with one out, or it's going to be two down. And nobody on. And Thomas still at the plate. And she's had a pitch, and I believe it was a ball. So the count should be 1-0. So they'll continue this conversation as the sun continues to creep behind the trees. Going back to the earlier thought, Madison Gilman was catcher on that 2012 team. Of course, she went on to have a storied career right down the street at Randolph-Macon, helping them make the NCAA tournament for the first time in school history in 2015 and winning the ODAC title that year as well. That was Ashley Samuels, played second that year. Kendall Thomas was in center field, but there was a sophomore for Cosby in the circle that afternoon by the name of Chelsea Whitcomb, who put on, well, her and Emma Mitchell put on a pitching performance for the ages. And again, 3-2 the final in 10. Cosby won the title. Patriots fell short. Hanover won their state championship in 2006. Lee Davis won theirs in 2011. And Atlee, of course, won 3 in a row, 2015, 16, and 17. They beat Patrick Henry in the state semis in 2015 en route to that first state championship. That's the closest Patrick Henry has been since 2012. And there was a play that night where then senior Paige Mitchell got a hold of one, and had it gone about 6 or 7 feet further, it would have been gone, and Patrick Henry would have been playing Hickory for the title the next day. All right, the conference finally over. Next pitch is a ball, and I believe we should have a count of 2-0 here on Thomas. Runner called out at third, so that's 2 out, a run in, nobody on. Patriots up 4-0. Thomas is ready. White delivers. Foul. Heading towards the baseball fans behind us. 2-1 to Thomas. This is JV baseball behind us. Midlothian up 4-0 in the 4th inning. And this game was scheduled to be played here, so the Patriots are the home team. The 2-1 from White. Oh, beautiful changeup in there for strike 2. Evening the count on Thomas at 2-2. 2 down, 1 in this top of the 3rd. 4-0 Patrick Henry. 2-2 pitch. Foul, out of play. And back by the baseball guys again. Mentioned big week for the Patriots. They've got Louisa Thursday, I believe, and then they are scheduled to host Glen Allen here on Friday night, weather permitting. I'm afraid a lot of Friday games may not get in. 2-2, tap toward the pitcher, running to get it. White throws over to first and gets the final out of the inning. But the Patriots will grab another run, an insurance run here in the top of the 3rd inning. Middle of 3rd in Ashland on this Tuesday night. Our score on the game of the week, Patrick Henry 4 and Midlothian 0. Trojans try to get on the board here in a moment on the RVA Sports Network. bottom third here in Ashland. Rob with them along with you. Happy to be with you again. It's springtime, and we're outdoors of sorts. We're in the press box covered, but the door open on this Tuesday evening. And Midlothian at bat here in the bottom of the third inning in a game moved from Midlothian to Ashland due to wet ground conditions over in Trojan country. So they're still considered the home team. They're batting here bottom three, but trailing the Patriots. The score 4-0. McDermott is the left fielder and is your batter to lead things off here in the bottom of inning number 3. 4-0 the score, the count 2-1 on Maggie. McDermott, Herndon, Lingle are due up here. And check that. It wasn't 2-1, it was 3-0. The next pitch went low and in the dirt. McDermott waited to see, and the umpire said, yeah, you can take first. And so Maggie on with a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the third inning. That'll bring up El Herndon, the third baseman who made that great stab defensively a few moments ago. First pitch down the first base line. It's tagged there by Radcliffe. She'll get the out by stepping on first. Runner will advance to second, so the fielder's choice unassisted from Saxon. And one out, runner moves to second in the form of McDermott to bring up the right fielder, Lauren Lingle.
Now batting number 6, Lauren Lingle.
So one out and Trojan in scoring position, if memory serves me correctly. That could be, it's either the first or the second time this afternoon. Looking for their first run of the season. Number 9 hitter, Lingle. Shows bunt, pulls back, inside, ball 1. Top of the order, Cassie Grizzard, the first baseman, left-handed hitter, is on deck. With McDermott at second and one out here, bottom third. The 1-0 shows bunt, pulls back. That is ball 2. Home plate umpire tonight takes a while to make his signal, which is why we have to kind of wait a second and see what it is. 2-0 the count on Lingle now. Jewick toes the rubber, is ready. Runner goes up the middle. Second baseman Rhodes stops it, but there's no play. On her way home, the throw from Rhodes gets away from the catcher, and she's safe, and Lingle will advance to second. Oh, McElroy had her out by a mile, just couldn't hold on to the ball there at the plate. Run scores. McDermott makes it 4-1, and Lingle will advance to second on the throw home. That throw was perfect by Rhodes, and McElroy just could not hang on to it. And that'll bring up Grizzard, the top of the order for Midlothian. Top of the order coming up. A conversation for Coach Lesturgeon in the circle.
Now batting the top of the lineup, number 7, Cassie Grizzard.
Bottom of the third. Grizzard to the plate. And another runner in scoring position. Now in a 4-1 game. First pitch goes for ball 1 to Grizzard, the left-handed leadoff hitter for Midlow. First adversity the Patriots have experienced on the field tonight. Next pitch, that one's nicely down the pike, and that'll even the count at 1-1. 1-1 the count. Lingle at second. One out and one in here in the bottom of the third inning. 4-1, Patrick Henry. Pitch outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. With Amanda Lanyon, the shortstop, waiting on deck. Midlothian looking for a rally here, bottom of inning 3. They get the run back they lost in the top of the third to PH. Next pitch, high and tight. 3-1. Three-one pitch coming here from Jewett. Line down the left field line, but foul. And we'll go full at 3-2. Grizzard just a bit late on the swing. Otherwise, that one's opposite field and probably extra bases and an RBI. Instead, it's 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out and Lingle at second and 1 run in. The payoff pitch. Missed outside. Couldn't paint the corner. Ball 4. And Grizzard will go to first. And the tying run will come to the plate in the form of Amanda Lanyon. She is tonight's shortstop for the Trojans. Patriots 4, Trojans 1. Trojans with their first run of the night here in this bottom of the third. And they're looking for more. First pitch misses outside. Ball 1 to the shortstop, Lanyon. Catcher Cameron Long, who missed a home run by about 5 feet down the right field line in the first inning, is on deck. And the Trojans have some life here. Next pitch, high. 2-0. It's the most body language and discussion we've heard out of the Trojans this entire game. Timeout called by Saxon Radcliffe over at first. She wanted to come over and talk to Jewett and the rest of the infielders really quick. Where Saxon caught last year. McElroy is catching tonight. Saxon's at first. Not a lot of constants in the 2019 Patriots starting lineup, at least on night 1, compared to 2018. Several seniors obviously graduating. Weird not to see Haley Thomas at first base, for example. But you see Rhodes at second and Sleemaker at short. That next pitch was nicely done by Jewett. It's now 2-1. On Lanyon with Lingle at second. Grizzard at first and 1 run in, bottom 3. 4-1 Patriots. Trojans threatening. Pitch. 1 hopper to Sleemaker. Going to go to third for the force. That'll be the only play, but the fielder's choice for the critical second out to get the lead runner. That's senior leadership right there at your shortstop position. To know calmly you can get the play at third. And there are 2 down.
Now batting, number 2, Cameron Long.
But it does bring up the catcher, Cameron Long, who again missed a homer in her first at bat by just a few feet. And a homer right here would tie the game. With 2 on, down 3. First pitch. Misses for ball 1. That one was close. 1-0 the count. Jewett gets the sign, checks the wrist, ready, and the 1-0. Foul back to the screen, even at 1 ball and 1 strike. We mentioned our next game of the week a week from tonight, the rematch of the state semis of last year. Prince George comes to Lee Davis. We'll be live at 6 Eastern from Mechanicsville next Tuesday night, March 19th. Game of the week here on our YouTube channel. The 1-1. That's at the knees for strike 2. 1-2. Jewett ahead of the count on Long with 2 aboard, 1 in, 2 out, bottom 3. Trojans down 3. Be a huge confidence booster for the young Jewett here. 1-2. Pulled the string and fouled out a play down the left field line. Long got all of it, but early. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Madeline will toe the rubber. Cameron, right-handed hitter, up at the front of the batter's box. The pitch. Got her on the inside corner for strike 3. What a pretty pitch, and Madeline Jewett gets out of the jam. The Trojans leave 2 aboard. They do get 1 in, and we'll go to the 4th. Patrick Henry, 4, and Midlothian, 1. On the RVA Sports Network high school softball game of the week. More coming up in just a moment here on RVA Sports Network. Patrick Henry, top of the 4th, and first pitch out for Jamie McElroy, the catcher. She pops out in the infield. And there is quickly 1 down, top of the 4th inning as we come back to you live here in Ashland. Rob Witham along with you on the season premiere of our spring sports game of the week package. First pitch fouled out of play for strike 1 to Haley Street, tonight's right fielder. Top of the order, Sleemaker, 2 for 2 with a solo homer on deck. The 0-1. Tap foul back to the screen and quickly 0-2 on Street. Of course, there'll be a great series of rivalry night Friday nights here in Hanover County coming up after spring break. The first rivalry nights are actually on the Thursday before spring break, March 28th. 0-2. Tapper to third, but foul. And Street will go 0-2 again. That Thursday, the 28th, Hanover comes to Patrick Henry for baseball and softball. And Lee Davis will go to Atlee. And then they will pick up the rotation on Friday nights, starting April 12th after spring break. Pfister toward first, and that's foul. And Street stays alive at 0-2. That baseball game happens. It'll be the first time Hanover baseball has come to Patrick Henry in like 3 years. Of course, Hawks getting set for a brand new era with head coach Tyler Kane. They've never played a game without Charlie Dragum at the helm. Tapper foul. Street still alive at 0-2, but Dragum retired after last season. Now watching his son Jack and also former Hawk Kamen Richardson play for the University of Virginia. And Tyler Kane, longtime assistant, taking over as the new head coach. Hanover's got a trip to Dinwiddie Thursday, scheduled to host Cortland Friday, weather permitting. The 0-2 lined to the first baseman, who makes a nice stab right at the bag for the out. That was a very nice play by Cassie Grizzard for out number 2. So 2 down, nobody on, but here comes Autumn Sleemaker. And all Autumn's done tonight is hit a solo homer to center in her first at-bat and singled in her second. So she is 2 for 2 tonight. And on this young season, White backs out for a moment. Maybe trying to get her way to slow down Sleemaker's early rhythm here tonight. The pitch. Fly ball right field. Right fielder going back trying to get to it and cannot. Gets over her head. 2 hops to the wall. Sleemaker to second. Motors toward third. Slides in safely. The home plate umpire slipped and fell here down the third base line. I think he is fine. He just lost his footing while making sure he followed the play in, and Sleemaker has tripled. So she needs a double for the cycle on opening night. That would be pretty cool. She doesn't have time to do what the softball player down at the University of Arkansas did a couple of weeks ago. What an amazing... The chances, I forget the young lady's name, but she should have immediately after that game gone and bought a lottery ticket, because the chances, first pitch outside for Saxon Radcliffe, 1-0 the count. The chances of hitting a solo homer, a 2-run homer, a 3-run homer, and a grand slam in the same game are like 1 in trillions. It's never happened in the 150-year history of Major League Baseball. Let's put it that way. Never. And she did that for Arkansas just a few weeks ago. The 1-0. That one's low. 2 balls, no strikes, to Saxon Radcliffe. With Sleemaker on third after the triple to the right field corner. 2 down here. Patriots trying to pick up the run. They let Midlothian grab in the bottom of the third. 2-0 pitch. Popped it up. Second baseman in shallow right field will make the catch. Lexi Wright with the third out. Radcliffe is retired, and Sleemaker is stranded at third. So 3.5 in the books tonight with our score 4-1. Patrick Henry. Well, we mentioned Lee Davis, Prince George, our next game of the week in softball a week from tonight, 6 o'clock here on the RBA Sports Network on our YouTube channel. We already have 2 game of the weeks ready for April. It's Wednesday, April 10th. We'll be live at Atlee High School for softball action when the Cosby Titans come over. That'll be a good one. Titans, Raiders, April 10th at 6. And then we missed them last year, but we're back this year. We try every year to do a Cosby James River baseball game. They are always exciting, always entertaining. And we will be at James River High School on Thursday, April the 18th for a 6 p.m. first pitch. We told you also we'll have coverage of the Deep Run Spring Break Classic on Spring Break Week, April 1, 2, and 3. So again, follow the broadcast schedule, constantly updated, both at RBASportsNetwork.com and at HanoverCountySports.net. Lee Davis softball successful tonight. Final score 21-0 over Hermitage. So Lee Davis 1-0 on the young season. Prince George also 1-0. They defeat Henrico tonight 15-1 the final. So Lee Davis, Prince George, they battle each other a week from tonight here on RBASN, and they both get big wins tonight in their season openers. Deep Run Baseball, the big win as well. They run rule Maggie Walker in 5. Final there 11-0 Deep Run. So far tonight, it's been the night of routing. Midlothian Baseball wins 10-0. Deep Run Baseball wins 11-0. Lee Davis wins big in softball. Prince George wins big in softball. One of the closest scores of the night's right here. 4-1. Patrick Henry with the lead. Bottom of the 4. And Midlow at the plate. Center fielder Emily Morrison lines one into left center field. It's hit well. Thomas goes back, cannot make the catch. It gets to the wall. She's at second. She's going to try to go to third. Slide, safe. The throw from Sleemaker in left field, the cutoff player was kind of wide. It drew Keys off of third just enough to where Morrison could slide in with the triple. If that throw had been on the money, she would have been a dead duck. But Morrison is in with the leadoff triple. And Abby White with a chance to help her cause and cut the margin down to 2. Nobody out here. Bottom of the 4th. Trojans could have tied it last inning. Left 2 stranded. Definitely don't want that to happen here. First pitch low. Gets behind McElroy. And coming in to score is Morrison. 4-2. Midlothian within 2. That one just got a bit away from Jewett, and the catcher McElroy couldn't hang on to it. Got behind her, and Morrison with very good aggressive veteran base running to get the run and cut the margin down to 2 runs. It has not been 2 all night. Sleemaker's solo homer to open things up made it 1-0. Tapper now towards Sleemaker at short, makes the play, throw to first in time, and there's 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning, but 1 run is in. That'll bring up the second baseman, Lexi Wright. And back in that top of the 1st, Jewett with a 2-run single made it 3-0. So it was 2-0 for all of about 5 seconds. So the margin now 2, 4-2, Patrick Henry. 1 out, nobody on. And Wright is the right-handed hitter at the plate, wearing number 10 for Midlothian. Jewett ready, the first pitch. She takes it all the way for ball 1. Maggie McDermott got things going last inning. She is on deck with 1 out here, and she will bat in this inning. Bottom 4. Midlothian still the home team tonight. That pitch is low, 2-0 now. Game originally scheduled for Midlothian had to be moved due to wet grounds, and even though it got moved over to Patrick Henry territory, Trojans still hold the home team moniker. So it's weird for the PH faithful to look up and be happy that the visitors are leading the home team on the scoreboard. But that's the case right now. Jewett ready, the 2-0. Misses low. 3 balls and no strikes. And if Wright can earn the walk and get aboard, McDermott had a good cut last time up last inning. Trojans confident right now. They are well in this game, and they know it. 3-0 misses low, ball 4. Wright on 4 pitches. Heads to first. And Maggie McDermott heads to the plate, tonight's left fielder. As we suspected, once that sun went behind the trees, and it's been a beautiful sunset here tonight, McDermott shows bunt, pulls back. It's a called strike 1. 0-1 the count to Maggie. We mentioned how some of the blankets and coats were getting broken out. Sun was baking us, and it felt great, and then it went behind the trees, and we can see a lot better, but the temperature probably dropped somewhere around 7 to 9 degrees. The 0-1. At the knees, but low. 1-1. The count on McDermott. With Lexi Wright at first base, 1 out, 1 run in here in the bottom of the 4th for Midlothian, trailing the Patriots 4-2. The pitch, low and inside, 2-1 the count. Two balls, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. And the tying run at the plate in the form of the left fielder, Maggie McDermott. Jewett ready, the pitch. Line towards second, caught, flip to Radcliffe, double play. Blair Rhodes with a fantastic defensive effort. And again, there's that veteran leadership in the middle of your defense. Timed it perfectly, was able to catch the liner, and then just a little backhand flip to Radcliffe to get Wright, who was halfway to second, thinking that it was not going to be fielded that way. And just like that, the Patriots get out of the jam, but Midlothian grabs another run and they cut it down to 2. We'll go to the 5th on the game of the week. It's Patrick Henry 4 and the Trojans of Midlothian 2. More to come coming up in just a moment here on the RVA Sports Network. Let's go top 5, shall we? From Ashland, Virginia, bringing you the RVA Sports Network high school softball game of the week. Rob Witham along with you. Patrick Henry 4, Midlothian 2. And we lead off inning number 5 with the second baseman Rhodes, who just made that nice play on the double play to get the Patriots out of the 4th. Player faces a count now of 2 balls and no strikes. 3, 4, 5 hitters in this 5th inning. Rhodes, White, Keys due up for Lance Sturgeon's Patrick Henry Patriots. Next pitch. Popped up, first base side, foul side, coming over to get it, and making the catch is Grizzard for the first out of the inning. And Rhodes is retired. 1 out for the center fielder, Aaron White, who's had a very good night at the plate tonight.
Now, batting number 25, Aaron White.
White, the center fielder. Patriots up by 2, top of the 5th, 1 gone. First pitch, off speed, misses. No, it's in. Outside corner, strike 1. Again, we explain the home plate umpire. He has a deliberate, I think is a judicious way of putting his rhythm. That one makes the out inside corner, and quickly Aaron White is down 0-2. 0-2 the count. Abby White has 1 strikeout tonight, looking for a second. The pitch popped into shallow right field. Second baseman Wright will go, and she'll drop it. She had it, and then she dropped it. She grabs it off the ground and then slips and falls with night falling. I think we have some dew issues going on out there. The umpire here fell on a play down the third base line, so of course that's dirt, but I suspect that between all the rain we've had since it feels like 1942 and just the conditions of the evening now that the sun has set, footing might be a bit of a concern out there. So runner is safe. White is safe. That'll be an error on the second baseman. And Emma Keys to the plate with 1 on and 1 out. The Patriots up 2, looking to get that lead back up. First pitch in for strike 1. They were up 3-0. They were up 4-0 at one point. Then it was 4-1. Now it's 4-2. Keys ready. Pitch fouled back off the screen, and the count's 0-2. With White, the runner at first, 1 out, top of the 5th. Again, game of the week next week, a week from tonight, 6 p.m. start. Prince George, Lee Davis, state semifinal rematch from Class 5 a year ago live from Mechanicsville. 0-2 high. And a good job by Lon, the catcher, to get up there and get that ball so it didn't get behind her to the screen and allow White to advance to second. Counts 1-2. We will climb the tower at Lee Davis softball for the first time in, 10 months, a week from tonight. The 1-2. Tapper foul, and Keys will stay alive at 1 ball and 2 strikes. One and two the count. White the runner at first with 1 away. Abby White sets and fires. Swing and a miss for strikeout number 2 on the night for the senior. Keys is retired, and with 2 out, here comes the pitcher, Madeline Jewett. So Jewett to the plate, gets help from her defense on that double play last inning, is able to get out of a jam and allow just 1 run in the third when 1 swing could have tied the game for Midlow. First pitch here, line towards short, gobbled up nicely, throw to first. It gets away from the first baseman. White will head toward third. It's an error on the throw by Lanyon. It allows White to go to third. Jewett is safe at first. Runners at the corners, and the inning is extended with 2 out for Jakayla Thomas, the left fielder. Lauren Ely will come in to run again for Jewett, the pitcher. And now Jakayla Thomas with an opportunity here to do some damage and get the Patriots lead back up where it once was. White is ready, Thomas is ready, and the first pitch outside and high for ball 1. Morrison is very deep in center field, like practically warning track in center. So if you can line one over the pitcher's head, you're in good shape. Next pitch high. Long jumps up to grab it. 2-0 the count on Thomas. If she can get a walk, it would be bases loaded with 2 down for McElroy, the catcher, who is on deck. The count 2-0. Keys at third. Ely, the courtesy runner at first. Abby White ready. The 2-0 pitch. Line foul out of play. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. There are some really, really intriguing games here in the first 3 weeks of the regular season in softball across the RBA. 2-1 pitch coming. High, 3-1. Ely's going to go to second. Long fakes the throw, hoping they could catch White off a third. Aaron doesn't bite. And now you've got 2 in scoring position and 3-1 the count on the left fielder, Thomas. And again, McElroy on deck. Should Thomas walk and get now the open first base? The 3-1. Missed. Ball 4. And the bases are jammed. And we may get a pinch hitter here. We will get a pinch hitter for McElroy, and it will be Riley Dahl. So Coach Lance Lesturgeon is rolling the dice here, hoping he can get one big swing out of Riley and break this game open. 2 out, bases loaded. Patrick Henry 4, Midlothian 2. And Dahl will come in to pinch hit for McElroy. We'll see if she stays in the contest once this half inning is complete. Top of the 5th, 2 out, bases loaded, 4-2, Patrick Henry. Dahl, the pinch hitter, and the first pitch misses. Ball one. White is at third. Ely is at second. Thomas is at first. 2 out, top of the fifth. 4-2. The 1-0 from Abby White. Low. 2-0. Walk obviously will bring a run in, but it also eliminates the shot that Dahl sends one over a fence here. 4-2 the score. Here comes the 2-0. High and away, 3 balls and no strikes. Dahl get this green light here. Let's see. 3-0 pitch. Strike one. White just fired and let it go, and Dahl did not have the green light. She let it go too. 3 balls, 1 strike. Now you look for something to hit so you don't get into the 3-2 situation. 2 down, bases jammed. Patriots up 2. White ready. The 3-1. Down the right field line, hooking, foul. And we'll go full at 3-2 with 2 out here in the top of the fifth. Dahl, sophomore. We first laid eyes on her in Atlee Little League in a run several years ago all the way to the regions. I want to say in the 10, 11-year-old group maybe. It's been about 4 or 5 years ago. Bases loaded. 3-2 pitch from Abby White to Riley Dahl. Here we go. Line down the right field line, but foul. Pulled the trigger just a bit late both times. And we stay at 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 out. Nice little opening night drama here tonight. Region 4B softball action. Dinwiddie already 1-0 on the year, beating Monacan yesterday in their opener. The payoff pitch. Grounder toward first. The play at first. And they get it. Dahl retired. And the Patriots leave the bases loaded. A chance to break it open goes by the board. We will go middle of 5 tonight here on the Game of the Week. Midlothian to bat, still with confidence, only down 2. 4-2 the score. As the Game of the Week rolls on, we're back in just a moment with more, live and exclusively on the RVA Sports Network. Back in a moment. underway now here in Ashland. Patriots 4, Trojans 2, and a new pitcher in for Patrick Henry. Riley Dahl will stay in and will work in relief of Madeline Jewett, who went 4 complete innings, giving up 2 runs tonight in the starting role. And now Dahl, very familiar with coming into this position, did it a lot her freshman year a year ago. First pitch, ground over to second. Right will flip to first for the first out of the inning. Check that. Rhodes will check there and get the first out. Jewett has flipped over to first base. Saxon Radcliffe has moved back behind the plate, where we are very familiar with her work there. And McElroy, who, of course, Dahl hit for there in the last half inning, her night is complete. So Dahl in the circle, Radcliffe behind the plate, Jewett to first, 1 out and nobody on. Midlothian, bottom 5, down by 2. And the number 9 hitter, Lauren Lingle, at the plate, takes strike 1. Dahl is ready. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Fouled behind the PH fans, out of play. And quickly Lingle down 0-2. Of course, Midlothian in the Dominion District, they got some tough teams to have to handle home and home. Manchester immediately comes to mind. Cosby certainly always good. James River down last year, but young. They should be improved this year. Next pitch, try to hit the outside corner, did not, and Lingle stays alive 1-2. Region 4B, man, you got to get through Dinwiddie. You got to get through Powhatan. Patrick Henry, of course. Hanover will be loaded this year. And Midlothian wants to be in the mix, too. The 1-2, swing and a miss, and Dahl gets her first strikeout of 2019. Lingle is retired. 2 down, nobody on here in the bottom of the 5th inning for the top of the order, and Cassie Grizzard, the first baseman. One of the few left-handed hitters for both teams tonight. It has been a right-handed hitting heavy evening here on opening night. Dahl ready, first pitch. Strike 1, inside corner. Boy, it's a pretty pitch. It just kind of starts down and then kind of cocks its way a little bit back in, and you're just kind of handcuffed there at the bottom of your bat. 0-1, the count. Grizzard, the leadoff hitter for Midlothian. Next pitch, that one high. 1-1. Dahl on in relief of Jewett. And again, she's now at first. Radcliffe moves behind the plate. Those are your defensive changes for the Patriots. Bottom 5, 4-2, Patrick Henry. And now the 1-1 pitch coming from Dahl. Missed high, 2-1. Cassie can get on. Amanda Lanyon, the shortstop, is on deck. Try to extend this bottom of the 5th inning. 7 defensive outs left for Midlothian here. That pitch will hit the outside corner for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes now with 2 down. Two the count. Nobody on. 2 out. Dahl ready. The pitch. Line foul, out of play behind the Midlothian faithful. Toward my car. And the count's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Grizzard ready. Dahl ready. The pitch. Swing and a miss, and Dahl gets her second strikeout of the inning, and that completes inning number 5. The Patriots continue to lead. It's still 4-2. Patrick Henry back in a moment on the RVA Sports Network. All right, fans, back with you and a couple of pieces of breaking news that we'll report here in just a second, but let's get you caught up. It is the sixth inning. We begin with the number 9 hitter in the order, Street, and we've gone full count 3-2, 4-2 Patrick Henry in the opener tonight. For both teams in 2019, 3-2 pitch is low, and we'll get a leadoff walk to Street, which will bring up the top of the order, Sleemaker, who is 3 for 3 tonight and a double away from the cycle. So would you believe me if I just told you that news just broke that the Cleveland Browns have traded for Odell Beckham Jr.? But it is being reported by NFL Network that Odell Beckham Jr. is on his way to Cleveland. Wow. We got much more important breaking news coming up in a second. White, first pitch, Sleemaker lines it into left center. That's a base hit. Runner heading toward third. Does Autumn try to go to 2? Yes, she will. She's in. It's a double, and it's the cycle for Autumn Sleemaker on opening night. Runners at second and third here in the top of the sixth inning. Holy cow. Not a bad way to start your senior season. Runners at second and third. Well. She opened the night with the solo shot to center, then singled in her next at-bat, tripled the last time up, and you could see it once it was going into the gap. It was cut off before the wall. It was just a matter of would the lead runner, Street, get out of the way and make it to third so that Autumn could clear the way to get over to second, and it happened without a problem. So second and third, and we have a timeout as we maybe having a pitching change here, and we will have a pitching change for Midlothian. 4-2 the score, Patrick Henry up here in inning number 6. The Patriots have just announced their new varsity head football coach. Welcome to Patrick Henry, Ken Wakefield, who has spent the last 6 years as head coach at Culpeper County High School. Ken Wakefield has just been named the new head football coach here at Patrick Henry. School board making it official in their meeting tonight. The new coach is going to meet the team on Thursday, and we're going to try our darndest to see if we can get him down to Sports Page Grill Ashland at some point for a future edition of In the Red Zone on 102.9 The Mater. If we can make that happen, we, of course, fans will let you know. So welcome, Coach Wakefield, to Patriot Nation. So that's a whole lot of stuff happening in about 5 minutes of real time. Emily Morrison will come in from center field. She will be on in relief of Abby White, who goes 5 plus 2 batters in the 6th. So she'll be responsible for the 2 runners on. Street at third, Sleemaker at second, as Saxon Radcliffe, now the catcher, comes to the plate. So Sleemaker for the cycle. Wakefield, the new football coach here at Patrick Henry. First pitch, I should say, to Radcliffe is going to be on the outside corner for strike 1. 0-1 the count. (4-2) Patrick Henry. They had a chance to bust it open earlier, couldn't. They got a much better shot here with nobody out and 2 in scoring position. The 0-1, that one's low. 1-1 to Saxon Radcliffe with Blair Rhodes on deck. Port Farm Park has said goodnight, so it's created a totally different ambiance here. All the lights and all the fields there are now off. And we're the only game in town on this side of the press box. The 1-1, outside 2-1 the count. As JV baseball continues behind us, Midlothian 5 and Patrick Henry 2 in the 6th inning. 2-1 the count to Radcliffe. Popped it up down the right field line. It's hooking, foul. And we'll go 2-2. Street will remain at third, Sleemaker at second. Saxon with a couple of runners. They're just waiting to be brought in. And she gets back in the box, and we're ready for the 2-2 pitch from Morrison. Off speed, outside, we go full at 3-2. So the count full to Radcliffe. Sleemaker at second, Street at third, nobody out, so nobody's running on the pitch. It's low, ball 4. Saxon will earn the walk, and now the bases are loaded again for Patrick Henry. And Blair Rhodes will come to the plate.
Let's hear it for you, Lady Patriots. Now batting, number 4, Blair Rhodes.
Rhodes to the plate. Bases are loaded. First pitch from Morrison is right back to Morrison. It goes off her glove, trying to throw home in time, and they will. So they end up getting the force anyway. Street a little bit late coming off because she thought the ball was going to be caught in the air and didn't want to be caught off on the double play. It goes off of Morrison's glove. The shortstop Lanyon is there. She's able to throw it home for the force at home. And so bottom line, fielder's choice, shortstop to the plate. They get the lead runner. The bases are still loaded. For Aaron White, first pitch high for ball 1. Aaron's had a good night tonight as well at the plate. And she could make it a great night here with 1 swing. 4-2, 1 out, bases loaded, top of inning 6. Pitch. Low. 2 balls, no strikes. Time to break out the jacket here in the 6th inning. Again, our mantra coming into our broadcast tonight was we were not going to complain about the sun whatsoever because we could see it, which is something we've not been able to say much of for the better part of a calendar year. The 2-0. Foul just down the third base line. 2-1 the count. And yes, I was not on crack 5 minutes ago when I told you that Odell Beckham had been traded to the Cleveland Browns. It is official. The Giants are going to get a first-round pick. Jabril Peppers, the young safety as well. He'll replace Landon Collins, who left in free agency. It's White down the left field line. Hooking at it is over the head of the left fielder. 1 run is in. Here comes 2. Rhodes trying to come in. It'll be cut off by Morrison, and Aaron White is at third base with a bases clearing triple. It's 7-2. White gets the congratulatory 5 from Coach Lesturgeon. And it's now 7-2, Patrick Henry. They've had a couple of opportunities to kind of break this game open. Early on, it looked like they could do it. And then Midlothian kind of stopped the bleeding, scratched a run, scratched another run. It was 4-2. Stopped an opportunity for Patrick Henry with Dahl coming in, pinch hitting with the bases loaded. Got her for the 3rd out to get out of that jam in the 5th. But the dam has burst here in the 6th. And White's at 3rd. And Emma Keys will come to the plate. Patriots now up 7-2, but the Trojans still with 2 more opportunities. Remember, that again, they are the home team in this game. And we're only in the top of the 6th. First pitch high for ball 1 from Morrison in relief of Abby White. I am a longtime New York Giants fan, and I will tell you, I am thrilled at this trade. Peppers is a great young safety, and I was so tired of Odell Beckham, I could not begin to tell you. Now I'll get off of my pedestal, and we'll call it 1-1, the count now to Emma Keys. I watch and cover sports at the high school and the Division III college level 90% of the time, and it is all about teamwork. Pitch down to 3rd, collected, throw to 1st in time, but coming in to score is White. And with 2 out and nobody on, it's 8-2, Patrick Henry. A big 4-run 6th inning for the Patriots. So with 2 away, it's Jewett coming up. Now the first baseman and the starting pitcher tonight for Patrick Henry. First pitch will be just at the knees for strike 1. Going back to my point of a moment ago, watching state champions at the high school level, watching teams do so well at Randolph-Macon in so many different sports, it's all about teamwork. It is me. It is I. Team before anything else, and the words I and me mean nothing. And I've always felt that Beckham, as a Giants fan, was kind of a me first guy, and it just kept happening and happening and happening. So I'm not at all upset about this. 0-2 count, pitch, tap toward 1st. Grizzard will grab it and will step on 1st for the 3rd out. But the damage is done. The Patriots have broke it open. It's 4 runs. Autumn Sleemaker grabs a double to have a night to remember on opening night. She hits for the cycle, and it's Patrick Henry 8 and Midlothian 2 as we'll go to the bottom of inning number 6. It's a final at Hermitage. Lee Davis has defeated Hermitage in their baseball opener tonight, 11-1 is the final there. And don't forget, in case you missed it in our pregame show, we mentioned that the Douglas Freeman and Lee Davis baseball and softball games, which were originally scheduled for Friday night, they have been moved up 24 hours. They're going to play them on Thursday night now because it looks like we're going to get rain on Friday. So again, Douglas Freeman at Lee Davis, baseball and softball. That should be a great baseball game. And that'll be now Thursday night at 6 p.m. Lee Davis 11, Hermitage 1, the final in baseball there tonight. So Aaron White breaks it open with that bases clearing triple. And it's middle of 6 now. Patrick Henry up 8-2. Hoping maybe they'll change the forecast and we won't get what they're talking about, because there are several excellent games scheduled for Friday, including right here where we mentioned earlier, Glen Allen with young, talk about a couple of the best young pitchers in the area, both sophomores. Riley Dahl in relief here tonight for Patrick Henry. Jewett doing a nice job in starting. And then Emerson Aiken for Glen Allen. Jags looking to make a statement in a year where maybe Prince George and Lee Davis lose a lot to graduation. Prince George has to replace Laura Thompson in the circle. When you have to replace a veteran senior pitcher that led you to a state championship, that is very hard to do. Savannah Henley is still at Lee Davis, and she has really blossomed into one of the better pitchers in the area. Can't wait to see both of them next week. On the game of the week, as the second pitch goes into right field, that is a base hit. To lead off the bottom of the 6th is the Trojans look to stay alive. The shortstop, Amanda Lanyon, with a single, and she's aboard to lead off the bottom of the 6th. And that'll bring up the catcher, Cameron Long. Patrick Henry 8, Midlothian 2. Trojans still scrapping here. Bottom 6, nobody out. Leadoff runner on. First pitch popped up. Infield, Keys, third base side, will get the catch for the first out of the inning. That's a big out there. Long, a solid bat for Midlothian. One out, one on for the cleanup hitter, and now the pitcher, Morrison. Lee Davis boys lacrosse victorious tonight, 15-0 over Hermitage. First win for new head coach Sean Weichland. Congratulations to him. First pitch from Dull, swing and a miss, and the count 0-1 on Morrison. All ready, check swing, ball, 1-1, throw to first. Lanyon safe. So 1-1, the count. Dull is ready, and the pitch. Fly ball, well hit, left center field. Center fielder White is there. She will make the catch for the second out of the inning.
Now batting number 5, Maddie Sheldon.
We'll have a pinch hitter here with 2 down in the 6th inning. Dull's ready. And Maddie Sheldon is ahead of the count. 2 balls and no strikes. With Lanyon at first. And 2 down here in the 6th inning. Patrick Henry enjoying now the 8-2 advantage. Swing and a miss. Throw back down to first, and Lanyon back safely. Two away. And check that, it's 1-2, not 2-1. Excuse me, on Sheldon. Next pitch, swing and a miss, and Sheldon goes down. And the Trojans are down, leaving 1 aboard as we'll go to inning number 7. Patrick Henry 8, Midlothian 2. 8:15 on this Tuesday night here in Ashland, Virginia. Back in a moment on the RVA Sports Network. Let's go to the 7th, shall we? Patrick Henry with the lead, 8-2, and Lauren Ely, who has courtesy run on several occasions for Madeline Jewett tonight. Now we'll get a shot at the plate, and the first pitch is strike one. Morrison, next pitch, liner down the first base line. It's going to hook foul. Boy, it has been a busy night tonight. With opening night for so many teams in our first game of the week in spring sports. New head football coach announced here at Patrick Henry. In case you missed it, Ken Wakefield, who has spent the last 6 years at Culpeper, will be coming in to lead Patriot Nation starting this fall. Pitch swing and a miss. And Ely will go down swinging. Morrison gets the strikeout. One out here in the top of the 7. First pitch to Dahl will be a called strike one. Counts 0-1. So with Powhatan hiring Mike Henderson from Douglas Freeman and David Bedwell going to Hermitage, George Wythe is still looking for a coach. Douglas Freeman is now looking for a coach. Next pitch outside, 1-1, the count to Dahl. Nobody on. One out here, top 7, PH leading 8-2. Remember, Midlothian, the home team in this game. So they have one more chance at bat coming up. Patrick Henry now with their head man in place. Tapper toward the first baseman, running back to the bag and making the play. And that'll be the second out of the inning as Dole is retired. Grounded to first in both of her at-bats tonight, and Maddie Sheldon now playing at first for the Trojans, getting that done. So 2 away. And speaking of great former Patriots, it's Amber Lee's birthday today. Amber, of course, a member of the Patriots girls basketball team middle of the decade, back with Summer Price and the Pender twins. And as a sophomore, she played with Katie Anderson her senior year. With 2 out here in the 7th, we'll get a pinch hitter. It's Sienna Perry with her first at-bat of 2019. Nobody on. Patriots up by 6. First pitch, swing and a miss for strike one. It is a 5-5 tie now in the 7th in JV baseball. And again, on a night where most games have been blowouts, you've heard us talk about the fun. We don't have a final yet from Glen Allen J.R. Tucker, but Glen Allen was up 10-0 after 2. Deep Run wins tonight 11-0. Midlothian wins over PH and Varsity play 10-0. Lee Davis takes care of Hermitage without a problem, both in baseball and softball and boys lacrosse. Haven't heard from Douglas Freeman Atlee yet tonight. Baseball opener. That could be done by now. 1-2 coming up to Perry. The pitch is low. She'll stay alive at 2-2. Sienna Perry, the pinch hitter, with 2 out, nobody on here, top of inning 7. Patriots 8, Trojans 2. The 2-2. Got her at the knees. Strike 3 called. Morrison with the strikeout. One last chance for Midlothian. It is 8-2 Patrick Henry as we go bottom 7 in this Region 4B softball opener tonight here on the Game of the Week. Been a pleasure being with you here tonight, fans. Lots of stuff going on. Next week, again, Game of the Week, live from Lee Davis High School It is a rematch of last year's Class 5 state semifinal. Defending Class 5 state champions Prince George in a new era. Without Laura Thompson, now down at Concord University. Her sister Sarah with her. Several other key members of that state championship team having graduated. That was an incredible senior class for Prince George. Against Savannah Henley and the Lee Davis Confederates, coverage begins at 6 o'clock. We will climb the tower and be high above home plate in Mechanicsville a week from tonight, beginning at 6 p.m. We've already got 2 Game of the Weeks lined up in April, and as well, we're going to be doing coverage of the Deep Run Spring Break Baseball Classic beginning April 1st. We'll add that to our broadcast schedule soon. RVASportsNetwork.com and HanoverCountySports.net is where you can get constant updates on when you can hear Game of the Week coverage, and the best way to do it is subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/RVA Sports Network. All you have to do is click subscribe, give us your email address. I can promise you 2 things. We'll never spam you, and we'll never give your email address to anybody else. The only time you'll ever get an email alert from us is when we do 2 things. Either A, put up a new video on our YouTube channel, or B, we go live with an RVA Sports Network high school game of the week. Tonight is what? March the 12th? That means we are what? About 5.5 months away from the return of football game of the week? It'll all be here before you know it. The older I get, the flyer the time gets. Yes, I actually created a word there. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Dole looking to wrap it up here for Patrick Henry, and the Patriots looking to go to 1-0. Lexi Wright, the second baseman, will lead things off here in the 7th. First pitch in for strike 1 to the second baseman, Wright. Both teams missing key players tonight. Abby Campbell did not play for Midlothian tonight. Jamie Hughes did not play for Patrick Henry. Ground ball to third, and it gets behind the third baseman, Keys. Sleemaker behind her, tried to throw her out, couldn't do it. And the air on Keys will put Wright aboard. And so the Trojans with a leadoff batter. And it's a final at JV baseball. Patrick Henry comes back from 5-0 down to win 6-5 in the bottom of the 7th inning. That's a good first win for Patrick Henry JV baseball tonight. They were down early and then got down big and clawed their way back. Nice win, Patriots. There's a strike. McDermott, the left fielder. 0-1 the count on her. Nobody out. Right at first. They need a big rally here, down 8-2. Swing and a miss. Throw down to first. Wright is back safely. Boy, Saxon is good there at trying to pick off the runner. Count, I believe, should be 0-2 now on McDermott, with nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. Off speed misses, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Herndon should be on deck and is the third baseman. Wright is at first with nobody out. The 1-2. Tapper back to Dahl, gets away from her, now gets it back, turns around, makes the play at first, which was the only play she had after bobbling the ball just a bit in the circle. And so there's 1 out. Wright will advance to second, and Herndon, the third baseman, will come to the plate. Midlothian is going to have a lot to say about how things go in Region 4B this year. It's going to be these 2 teams, Powhatan, Dinwiddie, Hanover. And frankly, we don't know what the powers will be when it comes to up north with the Louisas and the Eastern Views, the Chancellors, the Cortlands, etc. First pitch low and inside for ball 1. And then next year, when we realign, Midlow goes up to 5. Lee Davis comes down to 4. And that'll really jazz things up here in Region 4B. Dull is ready. The 1-0 pitch. High and away. 2-0. With one out and the runner at second and Lexi Wright. Two and 0, one away, bottom 7. Patriots trying to close it out up 8-2. Dull tries to paint the inside corner and misses. 3-0. Lingle, the right fielder, the number 9 hitter, is on deck for Midlothian. Fans, this is your first voyage with us in softball on the Game of the Week. This game's taken longer than usual. That pitch is in for strike 1. High school softball, we're normally done under 2 hours. Sometimes we're done as early as an hour 10, hour 20. Got a little bit of a late start tonight. Midlothian was late getting here. We started about 6:15, so we're a little over 2 hours tonight. The 3-1 from Dull. Swing and a miss. Make it 3-2. Herndon once up 3-0. Now faces the full count with Wright at second and one out here in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch. Swing and a miss. She chased the outside stuff for strike 3. 2 down here in the 7th. And that'll bring up Lingle, the final hope for Midlothian.
Now batting number 6, Lauren Lingle.
2 down, bottom 7. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Patriots look to go to 1-0 ahead of matchups. Another 4B opponent in Louisa. And then, as we mentioned, Glen Allen scheduled to come in, weather permitting, on Friday. Dull ready, the 1-0. Tap foul back to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Headlines of the night. Nice start for Madeline Jewick. Autumn Sleemaker hits for the cycle tonight, including a solo homer to lead things off to give the Patriots a lead that it looks like they will never relinquish. 1-1, swing and a miss, strike 2. And the Patriots a strike away from the road victory, officially, in Ashland. Although the ride home won't be too bad. Dull is ready, the 1-2 outside, 2-2. Yeah, if my road trips always consisted of going to my school, playing, and going home, I could deal with that. 2-2 the count. 2-2, 2 out, the pitch. Lined towards center field. It will barely get in there. Rhodes couldn't quite get to it. Coming in to score is Lexi Wright. And it's a bloop single just inside center field. And Lingle gets the RBI, and it's 8-3. And that'll bring up Cassie Grizzard at the top of the order. So the Trojans not quitting. As they grab another one here, another run at the top of the bottom of the 7th, make it 8-3. With a runner on. Down to their final out. First pitch right down the pike from Riley Dahl for strike 1. Lanyon, the shortstop, on deck should the rally continue. The 0-1 pitch. Fly ball into left field. Left fielder slips and then loses sight of it. Here comes a runner in to score. It's Lingle. And it's 8-4 as Grizzard stops at second. Well, the left fielder just simply, we talked earlier about we thought maybe footing could be an issue in the latter half of this game as night fell. It's already wet. Now some dew. And sure enough, we've seen the home plate umpire fall. We saw now a player fall earlier. And now the left fielder falls. Could have gotten the third out and ended the game. Instead, Trojans switch positions, and now we've got Grizzard at second, 8-4, Patrick Henry. First pitch is down the pike, strike one, to the shortstop, Amanda Lanyon. Cameron Long on deck, should the rally continue. That pitch, one hop behind Radcliffe, and going over to third, Grizzard is safe there. She advances 60 feet. And the Trojans, they're like that little brother or little sister that drove you up the wall when you were growing up. They just won't go away. They will not quit. 1-1 the count with 2 out, and now a runner at third. And timeout called by Lanyon. They've got 2 in here in the bottom of the 7th. The 1-1. Line down to right field line. Fair ball. Run is in. Going to try to head to second. There's going to be a play at second base, and she's safe. Oh, that was close. And Lanyon slides in with a double down the right field line. It's 8-5. Midlothian within 3. Well. We're not done yet. A 3-run 7th inning for Midlothian. And a conference in the circle for Patrick Henry.
Here we go, Patrick Henry. Let's hear it for our Lady Patriots. Let's get this out.
Conference complete. And Cameron Long comes to the plate. The catcher, Long. Runner at second. The tying run is on deck. 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Scoreboard is cleared, and we're ready to roll. Long ready, first pitch, swing and a miss for strike one. Now she missed a homer in her first at-bat by about 5 feet down the right field line, and what she's got to understand here is that a homer here would make it 8-7, but it doesn't win the game. Certainly it draws you closer. Right now you want to make contact and keep the rally alive. That's what matters the most. Counts 0-1. Next pitch, low. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 out. Lanyon at second. 3 runs are in. They need 3 more to tie, however. Dahl ready, the pitch. Grounder to second. Rhodes is there. The throw, and the Patriots of Patrick Henry will take the opening night win here on the game of the week. 8-5, Patrick Henry, the final over the Trojans. Patrick Henry to 1-0, and despite a great 7th inning rally by Midlothian, the Patriots will grab their first win of the season. Trojans fall to 0-1, but this is just a little slice of what we expect to have in terms of the competition in Region 4B here in the metro area again this season. Patriots with the win, 8-5 the final. And again, they have a couple of more big games scheduled this week. Our next game of the week is a week from tonight. Again, the rematch of the Class 5 state semis from 2018 when the Prince George Royals head up I-295 to Mechanicsville to take on Lee Davis. Coverage begins next Tuesday night at 6 o'clock Eastern Time, exclusively here on the RBA Sports Network. A big thank you to Shay Collins at Midlothian, for Matt Crowder and Patrick Henry for his last-minute help this afternoon to make this broadcast possible this evening. Game of the week, an exclusive presentation of the RBA Sports Network, solely intended for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of tonight's broadcast without the express written consent of HCS Media, LLC is strictly prohibited. Rob Witham saying thanks so much for being with us tonight. Patrick Henry survives the final Midlow threat. Sleemaker for the cycle, and the Patriots win at 8-5. We'll talk to you next Tuesday night at Lee Davis.